Hello everybody and welcome to another Transformers review. Huge thanks to the guys at masterforce.co.uk for getting this review sample sent out to me nice and early. Today we're taking a look at the eagerly anticipated Generations Rattrap. Now, Beast Wars is a touchy subject with a lot of Transformer fans. I think it's a bit like the Marmite of Transformers. You either love it or you hate it. As it was, I was born in the 80s, so I had the G1, but when I was getting to around kind of 9, 10, Beast Wars started to kind of come on telly, and I really enjoyed it. And one of my favourite characters from Beast Wars was Rattrap. He was the cowardly Maximal, and he just had character, and you didn't really get an equivalent to him in Generation 1. So when I heard this guy was coming out, I was actually really excited. I used to have the Beast Wars Rattrap toy. Had both his guns, but at the time, needs must, and I sold a lot of my collection. Unfortunately, the Beast Wars were worth a bit at the time. They had a bit of demand, so he went. And when I heard I can get hold of this guy, I was really, honestly over the moon. Just take a look at him in his rat mode. I never got that. Why have all the things that the thing scanned? You got gorillas and rhinos, and how did it find a dinosaur Jurassic rat? You can see a lot of the panels on this guy. I think that's kind of forgivable. Don't forget this is a test shot, so the final one may slightly vary, but I shouldn't imagine that the shell itself will change much. It very much reminds me of its original counterpart. It feels exactly the same plastic-wise as those shells. It just feels like an old Beast Wars shell former. But the detailing on this is absolutely absurd. Just take a look at that face. That really is ripped straight from the animation. He's really relevant now, isn't he? Because he's in the IDW comics, but I don't like what they're doing with him in the IDW comics. I don't think it really fits. I don't think the character has really stayed the same, and it just doesn't seem to be the same Rattrap that I grew up with, which is a shame because I love those comics. You have a moving jaw on this guy. You don't want to have it come down too far. It does look a little bit silly right down there. You have this kind of brushed fur effect all the way along. You've got some nice rotation up and down on the legs, but you have nothing really that can pull those out. If you start pulling the legs out sideways to get some wider poses, it undoes all of the transformation underneath. You do have some wrist swivel, so just on a small pivot there. Even the hands are very, very detailed. If you can see those, doop. Really nice. You've got the padded paws there. Very nice touch. The back legs, again, much like the front legs, you haven't really got any outwards motion. It is literally just up and down, and you've got a pivot on this hind legs, but nothing, again, you can kind of pull it out slightly. No, you can't at all. It's just up and down. If you start pulling everything out, the entire transformation just comes undone. You've got a nice swivel on the tail. Again, nothing left and right. That's a little disappointing. I was hoping for more articulation. Rhinox had more than that, and he's an absolutely awesome figure. I know this guy is smaller, but I would have liked... I just feel you're really limited with how you're going to pose him now in rat mode. I mean, you can have his legs up, you can have his head down slightly, but that's about the only alternative pose you can get with this guy, which is a shame. That's such a shame. I know he's a shell former and they're kind of limited with what they can do with him. I'm actually genuinely impressed by his size. I mean, for Deluxe, he's actually really big. I mean, you pop a Masterpiece figure in there in a mix. I mean, you can see he's actually a really substantial Deluxe. I mean, scale-wise, his rat mode would almost be equivalent to a Voyager, I believe. I mean, that's a fair bit of size there. But obviously it's the bot mode we're going to go on, and that'll be the Deluxe. I mean, I'm certainly a lot more impressed by his size than that I am of the new Tankor. I mean, Tankor I was expecting to be absolutely huge, but yeah, he's not. But anyway, we'll get to him on the next review. So let's take a look at Rattrap's transformation and see just how he fares up in bot mode. First step, you want to just unpeg these side panels. They are pegged in to the arms like so. Just get those up and out of the way. That frees up all this underside here. Pull these arm sections up and out of the way so these shoulder sections are facing upwards. There's a small round clip section on this back panel here, so you just pull that forwards, this hook here, and that just hooks onto these legs. You can then extend and bring the legs forward. Now this part of the leg transformation I really like. Make sure this plastic yellow orange section is out of the way. There's a fold just on this thigh. Push that down, this calf section comes round and tucks down behind this hinge here, covering up the back of the leg. You can then bring the orange section down and folds in and just plugs in there, and you just bring those feet forward and you've got some really nice show accurate legs. Whilst we're here, I will just show you that the guns that come with Rattrap can be stored on the inside of his kind of shell, much like they were in the original figure, but I don't like to keep them there. I just think they kind of hinder the transformation slightly, and it doesn't seem to want to peg together quite well. Our next step, I can pull down this head section, revealing a fantastic head sculpt that is nigh on perfect. And then this whole back section here is on a rocker hinge. It's just attached under here, so we just rock that up, and that brings this whole section up. Fold this rat tail section, it's on a hinge, just fold that up like so, and then there's a hole just underneath there so that can all peg together like so, and just move the tail up out of the way. Like so, and we're pretty much there. Just a matter of squaring things up how you want to. And there we have the transformation. That's pretty much it. That's really nice and simple. He's got a fairly hefty backpack. I know in the original promo shots, this tail wasn't even visible. I kind of had all this hooked back up here. But the thing I love about the tail, it's the piping. That's kind of like one of the things with the old steel piping and that in, so you can just curl that right out of the way. And that is just a fantastic sculpt. I absolutely love the head sculpt on that. That is... See, they've done exactly the same thing with Rhinox. His head sculpt was phenomenal, absolutely stunning, it really was. The sculpt on this guy in general is just fantastic. Really impressed. Even the little Maximals sticker kind of paint apps on there. Really loving this guy. Of course, he does come with 2 blasters. Let's pop those in his hands. He says 1 and 2. There we go. Blasters themselves are really nicely detailed. I think I would have preferred them to be like the original brown, just as a nice little nod, but I can work with that. Works well. Really nice. And of course they can join together. Just pop that out, and that goes in there like so. And he's got himself kind of a shotgun rifle-y thing, like so. Well, I am absolutely terrible at posing figures, aren't I? You get the idea. As much as I try, his arms are really limited in the articulation. I can't get him to hold both guns and look awesome. Articulation-wise, the head is on a swivel. Now you can move it slightly up and down. That's literally just through to the transformation joint there. The shoulders themselves, they can arch in and outwards on this hinge here. You've got a full 360 at the top of the shoulder. There's also a swivel in and out. Looking at the elbow joint, we can get that in focus. Boom! There is a swivel at the elbow and a rotation. Nothing at all on the wrist though. That's a shame. That's what's kind of hindering it. Just a little bit of wrist swivel would have gone a long, long way. No waist swivel there. Everything locks into place. Kind of hinders that. You do have an upper thigh swivel. You do have a nice deep joint on the knee. And again, nothing on the feet. No foot articulation at all. No ankle pivots. Hasbro, you fools. Nice little touch for this guy. If you come round to the arm, just poke these two circle sections up, like so. Pop this section up, poke these up, and lo and behold, we have some binoculars. There we go. That's a nice little touch, isn't it? He can kind of just hold those in his hand and look through those. Let's see if he can actually hold these, shall we? You get the hint. I'll get him in some decent poses at the end of the video and I'll take them pictures and you can let me know what you think. All in all, I do really like Rattrap. He's a little bit simplistic, but for a deluxe figure, he will suffice. Slightly back heavy, as you can see, I'm having to kind of lean him forward slightly at the knees to get him to stay upright. He scales really well with our previously released Beast Wars figures. Here he is with Generations Rhinox and also Springer, in case you wanted him for your IDW continuity. Anyway, can't recommend the figure enough. Yes, he is not without his faults, but if you are a Beast Wars fan or indeed an IDW fan, this guy has got to be a must. He's one of the better deluxes we've had in a long time, and he's just such a great homage. I absolutely love him. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Once again, make sure you pre-order yours at masterforce.co.uk. For myself and Rattrap, goodbye.